They told you purpose would appear one day like a sign in the sky, a sudden calling, a lightning bolt, a moment so obvious you couldn't miss it. But the truth is harsher and far more powerful. Purpose is not something that finds you while you're waiting. Purpose is something that answers only when you decide. Every great life, every empire of thought, every fortune of meaning began not with clarity, but with inner demand, a refusal to drift, a refusal to accept insignificance. Look closely at history, and you will see it again and again. Edison was not chosen. He chose obsession. Carnegie was not born destined. He claimed direction. Lincoln was not spared confusion. He stood inside it long enough to shape meaning from pain. Purpose did not knock on their door. They kicked down the door of uncertainty and declared, "This is mine." You feel that ache inside you, don't you? That hum of unrest, that low-burning impatience, that sense that your life is meant to weigh more than the days you are currently spending. That is not confusion. That is awareness waking up. Most people mistake discomfort for a sign to retreat, but the builders of destiny recognize it as a signal to advance. The tragedy of the modern world isn't lack of opportunity, it's excess of distraction. So many voices telling you who to be, what to chase, how fast, how loud, how perfect. And in all that noise, you were taught to search for purpose, as if it exists outside you, hidden in a job title, a relationship, or approval. But Napoleon Hill understood something most never grasp. The mind, once definitively directed, arranges circumstances to match its command. Purpose is not discovered accidentally. It is forged intentionally. It begins the moment you stop asking, "What should I do?" and start declaring, "This is what I will build." Clarity does not come before commitment. It comes because of commitment. The world waits to see what you will tolerate before it entrusts you with more. If your standards are low, life matches them. If your resolve is weak, circumstances overpower it. But when desire hardens into decision, reality reorganizes. This is not poetry. This is law. Every achievement first existed as an invisible agreement inside a single mind. Henry Ford didn't wait until the road appeared. He imagined the engine. Walt Disney didn't wait for permission. He saw a kingdom while balancing bankruptcy on his back. They didn't find purpose. They stood in uncertainty and claimed it anyway. Purpose begins when you decide what you will no longer be available for. No longer available for drifting. No longer available for shrinking to fit rooms that suffocate your potential. No longer available for the comfort that corrodes ambition. The disciplined mind understands this. Emotion may ignite the fire, but discipline keeps it alive at 3 a.m. when no one is watching. Belief is not pretending everything will work out. Belief is acting as though your responsibility to act is non-negotiable. Every morning is a negotiation between the future you desire and the habits you tolerate. Win enough mornings, and the direction of your life changes. You don't need more motivation. You need alignment. Alignment between thought and action, between what you say matters and what you actually give your time to. Purpose sharpens when chaos is met with structure, when dreams are met with schedules, when inspiration is grounded in repetition. The world respects consistency far more than intensity, and there will be days, many of them, when nothing moves, when effort seems invisible, when doubt circles like a patient predator. In those moments, remember this: every seed breaks before it grows. Resistance is not proof you're off course. It's often proof you're finally on one. Gratitude then becomes armor, not softness. Gratitude for the process, for the struggle shaping you into someone capable of carrying the vision you've claimed. Adaptability refines purpose without diluting it. Storms don't cancel direction, they test flexibility. And resilience, real resilience, is built quietly through choices made when quitting would be understandable and invisible. Purpose deepens when learning replaces ego, when feedback becomes fuel instead of insult, when you outgrow the need to be right and choose instead to become effective. You are not late. You are not behind. You are standing at the exact moment where decision becomes destiny. Purpose is not found in comfort. It is claimed in courage, and once claimed, it demands payment, focus, sacrifice, consistency, but it pays in meaning, power, and a life that feels earned. So don't wait for a sign. Become the signal. Don't search for purpose. Stand up, draw the line, and claim it. Once you claim it, something subtle but irreversible happens inside you. You stop bargaining with your potential. You stop asking if you're allowed. You stop waiting for applause before you move. Claimed purpose creates gravity. People feel it before they understand it. Opportunities bend toward it. Resistance sharpens it. This is where most turn back, right when the weight becomes real. Dreaming is light. Deciding is heavy. Because now there is no hiding. Every distraction becomes a betrayal. Every excuse exposes itself. The mind, once disciplined, becomes a weapon. Thoughts stop running wild and start marching in formation. Fear no longer leads, it reports. Napoleon Hill called this definiteness of purpose, and it is rare not because it is complex, but because it is demanding. It asks you to choose a direction and walk it when outcomes are uncertain and comfort is screaming. The average mind wants guarantees. The purposeful mind wants responsibility. Understand this deeply. Life does not reward intention. It rewards alignment between intention and action, repeated over time. You are not building success. You are building yourself into someone success can flow through without distortion. Vision without patience collapses. Ambition without integrity rots. Power without purpose corrupts. That's why purpose is not ambition's decoration. It is its spine. When your why is weak, pressure breaks you. When your why is clear, pressure shapes you. You start to notice time differently. Hours become resources. Energy becomes currency. Attention becomes sacred. You stop explaining your discipline to people who profit from your distraction. And slowly, quietly, your identity shifts. You're no longer someone trying to figure it out. You become someone in motion. Motion destroys doubt. Doubt feeds on stagnation, on overthinking, on waiting for the perfect moment that never arrives. Action, imperfect, repeated action, starves it. Thomas Edison did not protect his confidence. He outworked his uncertainty. Failure did not define him because learning outpaced pride. This is the rhythm of all builders of meaning. Decide, act, learn, adjust, repeat. No drama, no mysticism, no shortcuts. The world loves to romanticize arrival, but purpose lives in pursuit, not frenzy, commitment. There will be moments when the path feels lonely. That is not a curse. That is filtration. Clarity repels what doesn't belong. You don't need everyone to understand you. You need to understand yourself deeply enough that misunderstanding doesn't shake you. Purpose gives you a spine in a world addicted to approval. And as you continue, something almost sacred emerges, a quiet confidence that doesn't need validation, not arrogance, not noise, certainty. Certainty that your days are pointed somewhere. Certainty that even setbacks are shaping tools. Resilience stops being something you perform and becomes something you are. You realize that obstacles aren't interruptions. They are invitations to become more precise, more disciplined, more intentional. This is where gratitude deepens, not as gratitude for comfort, but for capacity, for the strength to endure, for the mind learning to command itself, for the privilege of responsibility. Adaptability no longer threatens your identity because your foundation is internal. Methods evolve. Purpose remains. And the more you learn, the more humble you become, because real knowledge reveals range, not ego. You stop chasing comparison. You stop measuring yourself against timelines that were never meant for you. Purpose has its own clock. Some build fast and fade. Others build slow and stand. You're not here to impress. You're here to construct. And construction is noisy at first, painful often, invisible sometimes, but permanent when done right. As days stack into years, you begin to see what was once fog take shape, not because the fog disappeared, but because you learned to move through it. This is the reward of claiming purpose, not certainty of outcome, but mastery of direction. You don't wake up every day motivated. You wake up resolved. Resolved to act in alignment. Resolved to carry the weight you chose. Resolved to keep building even when applause is absent. And that is when life meets you differently. Not because you demanded it, but because you became capable of holding more. Purpose was never hiding from you. It was waiting for you to become strong enough to claim it, and disciplined enough to honor it, and courageous enough to live it anyway.